Man, I tell you what, this weather is enough to poke the piss off. It's nasty, wet, dreary, chilly. Did I say nasty? That's horrible weather. Well, it ain't freezing, but man, I am so ready for spring to get here. It's a horrible weather. It's supposed to be wet all week. If we can just get past this liquid sunshine, life would be great. Get a little bit of a warm up going on out here where I can start moving around. I got about a half a dozen trees that I got to clean up around the property. Should be doing it in the rain, but I just don't feel like running a chainsaw on it. I'm not as stable on my feet, and getting wet and cold makes me even less stable. Yeah, I got a question to ask people if they come on in here and watch this later. I'm sure I'll ask this question again when people get here too. What do you think about a guy that decides to get rid of all of his animals, looking for ways to get them, trying to get them in homes so he can apply for political asylum from the United States? He's a U.S. citizen and he's seeking political asylum because he claims he's being persecuted here in the United States. And he's seeking political asylum in none other than South America. Now, who would do that? Who in their right mind would seek political asylum from the United States in South America? Now, I can see you seeking political asylum if you had turned over information like that one guy that ended up going to Russia. He had a legitimate excuse. I mean, they was after him. But this guy here, he ain't done nothing like that. He thinks he's persecuted here. Wait till he gets over there. It just don't make no sense to me. As horrible as things are with what the Democrats have done to this nation, it's still the best nation in the world. And no, I'm not saying all Democrats are evil. I think the majority of Democrats are good people. But it's the Washington, D.C. Democrats and Republicans that are flat out evil. Got these three hens walking around out here in front of me and the rooster. Got a text from a friend of my daughter's. Got a text from him. He says he's got 7 hens in town, and he's been feeding them. The pizza that owns them doesn't want them no more. Hey, Greg. And he was wanting to know if I would take him. I'm like, no, I'm trying to thin down the flock. I'm trying to get down to about 5 or 6. That's all the eggs I need. 5 or 6 hens, and I'm just fine. I got 11 right now. I don't need 7 more. How's Greg doing? Are you missing the farm life? Just out of curiosity. Now you said that you leased out the land. And tell me, Greg, what do you think of a person, a U.S. citizen, that would get rid of all of his dogs and then go to South America to apply for political asylum? What do you think of any American citizen that would do that? Do you think the guy is nuts in the head? Hey, Leo, I mean, you got to be nuts in the head. I mean, this is the best nation in the world. Even with the Democrats in Washington D.C., we still have the best nation in the world. What is going on with my charger? Come on. Get the charge. Shows the battery's still going down. I'm trying to get it to go up. I think I need to get a new cord. I'm good, but the weather has kind of sucked lately. I don't miss the farm life at all. Oh, you know what? This weather does suck. I mean, it's nasty. The question is, what do you think of a person, an American citizen, that would ditch all their dogs so they could go to South America and apply for political asylum? I mean, to me, that's freaking nuts. Come on. You're the pup and you're pissed off. I can't tell. I might end up having to cut this off early if the battery don't start charging. I don't know what's going on here. This weather is nasty here, Tim. I mean, it flat out sucks. That person is hereby shunned. Yes. That's what I'm saying. Shun that guy. couldn't believe anybody would even give that guy any airtime. It's nobody from this community, Greg. Somebody from Noodles community. Maybe that explains it. Yep, that explains it. Man, I am so ready for spring to get here. So, Greg, did you sell the farm, or are you still living out on the farm and just leasing the land, or what's the deal there? Yeah, I think you're right there, Tim. I think most of them are flat out nuts. Yeah, this thing ain't going to take a charge. I'll have to do it, put it on the charger in the house when the battery goes dead. Let this go until it's dead. It'll last a while. I'm 39%. I can turn down the brightness. I don't need it this bright. That'll save a little battery. Just rented the farmland for 5 years. And you're still living in the house out there? Cool. The people that rented the farm, do they have other farmland that they're managing too, and they just gives them more land to farm, so they got more crop? Because that would make sense. Is Pope the pissed off? Hey, dog. Oh, they do like 2,000 acres. Wow, that's cool. How's the dog doing this evening? You'll buy the farm. Yeah, you better watch it there, kid. Iron Dog Kathy will knock the smile right off your face. She'll hit you so hard that you'll slobber when you smile. I'm going to put the dog in the ban. You know, shunned. Mm. Mm. 1. Please proceed to the confession box. What was that one joke? I know dogs heard it about the they go to the confession box. Father, forgive me for I have sinned. I had a sexual relationship with a girl. I cannot tell her name. Who was it? I gotta know who it was. Was it Sally? No. Was it Susan? No. Was it Jill? No. Goes back on later on. His buddy asked him, well, what did you find out? He said, I got 3 new leads. 110 acres total, 20,000 an acre. That'd be a heck of a price. About 2 million buy, over 2 million. Not your community service. 13 and 13 are fathers. Yeah, Kotex, I'm thinking about putting you in the stew pot this summer. Give me another rooster. Free candy. Has Michigan ever recovered from having Sandusky? Speaking of free candy. Well, that would be better than the Saturday rake fights. The Amish rake fights. Enter them in one of those. Oh, that was Pennsylvania? Oh, I was thinking it was Michigan. Okay. I don't know. It seems like that cat does a lot of begging to go in the frying pan. Yeah, she would be good eating when she's sleeping. Now, he got ripped off then, Tim. Then I tell you what, the Salvation Army and the Goodwill today ain't what they used to be when I was a kid growing on up. Now we used to get most of our clothes at the Salvation Army and the Goodwill and stuff like that. And back then, man, you went on in there and there was nothing resembled anything close to new on in there. And everything was cheap. Now you go into around here, you go into Salvation Army or a Goodwill. Man, they went higher prices than what it cost brand new. I don't even bother going into Salvation Armies or Goodwills anymore. High dollar is right. He got it half off with an extra 50% off. Then he added his military discount. They paid him to take the cat. It's still too much. Even at 10% off, it's still too much. Salvation Army and Goodwill. Now, the one thing that I will say that is nice about Goodwill, at least the ones over in Corvallis, we only have to go clear to Corvallis to go to Goodwill. That Goodwill over there, all the employees over there in there, they're people that, you know, I like stay-at-home moms to raise their kids, their families. The families are gone. They have no work experience, and it gives these people a chance to establish some work experience and get back into, you know, or somebody that's had a drug or alcohol problem and they're going through recovery. So it is giving people an opportunity to get back in the workforce again. So it is. I do gotta appreciate their efforts that way, but still their prices are way too high. Unfortunately, we don't have any of those around here, Tim. We got up in Lebanon, the next town up, about 20 miles away. We do have a Mennonite store. It's they sell groceries that are discontinued from other stores, or you know the bulk damaged cans, stuff like that. They have really good prices on in there. Even they have a section that's all Amish goods or Mennonite goods that they're selling too. The Mennonite goods that they're selling, for the most part, is really expensive. Like if you want to buy a pint jar of jam, it is like $15, $18 for a pint jar of jam or jelly, you know, stuff like that. It's ridiculously high how much prices there at that store. That's all we have. But realistically, the Mennonites basically own the Willamette Valley here. They own most of the grass seed farms. They own most of the. They own just about all the hospitals here. You know, all that stuff. They pretty much got wrapped up the gravel pits around here. I mean, the Mennonites here are very wealthy. $5 for jam there. Yeah, it's like 15, 20 bucks a pint here. I mean, I would love to give that kind of support, but I can't afford paying their prices. They used to have, I used to be able to go on in there and buy like 5-pound blocks of cheese from them. And it was only like $5. Buy a 5-pound block for like $5. That was really cheap for a long time, but they've jacked those prices way up now. Yeah, they're tight with money, but they're, you know, the Mennonites that I know around here, they're really good people. I mean, they do like the guy that when I rocked in my driveway and stuff, um, I didn't have the cash on hand and I needed like 3 truckloads of it. And I called him on up and told him what I needed, but I said, I won't have the money for about a month or longer. And he says, well, he says, I'll tell you what I'll do. He says, whenever I got some free time, I'll bring you a load and we'll put it on a tab and you just pay me when you can. I paid him off. It took me about 2 months to pay it all off. And it took him about 2 weeks to get the 3 loads of gravel here at that time. And it took me about 2 months before I got it paid off. But I mean, and the guy didn't even hardly know me. I mean, it was not something like, the guy knew who I was or anything else like that. It was just, they were very easy to work with. On the same token as with the Mennonites here, stay true to your word. If you tell them something, stick with it, because they will. If you screw them over once, they'll never help you again. I haven't experienced that. Where I've done business, where I've built for the Mennonites, they paid good money. They were not stingy. They were not tight. They charge, upper end prices, but they pay upper end prices too. I mean, hey, I think they're great people to know, great people to do business with. Most people that profess to be Christians, if somebody tells me that they're a Christian, I refuse to do business with them. With the Mennonites, I didn't have that problem with them, the same problems. I would have doubt that bit for a bit, dog. I believe that. Speaking of copper wire, a friend of mine, he works at up in Albany at, I can't remember the name of the place there. They make the wire for your cable and stuff like that. He was telling me how they stretch that wire on out. Then they twist it. All these really fine strands, twist them together, pound them together. Then they twist those. And he was telling me about the process of how they take, take the wire. And they're able to stretch it on out to where it's like thread thin. It's just a big old blob of copper, and they start somehow squeezing it on out into wire. I'm sure it's done with heat and different stuff. But they run it on out, stretch it, and they do it. They do it several times. Yeah, I looked at you like you was sick. Damn, you was Mennonite. I don't blame the cat there, dog. I would too. I've heard of other people around this area trying to join the Mennonite church. I guess it's extremely difficult to join the Mennonite church. It's not easy. You joined the Brethren Church after you got married? Yeah, I have a number of friends that tried to join the Mennonite church, and I didn't know what was involved in it or anything. It was no secret society or nothing like that, but it was a long drawn out affair to be able to get accepted into the Mennonite church. People are welcome to go to church, but to actually be baptized in the church or whatever was a really long drawn out affair. Even harder to join the Amish. Yeah, I bet. Oh, that was a good movie, Doug. I love that movie. I'll have to sit down and watch that one of these nights again. Yeah, he did. I don't remember the Harrison Ford one movie, but I remember Tim Allen. Was it Christy Alley? Is that who it was? It was his wife on there. Yeah, that was a real good movie. Harrison Ford was a cop protecting an Amish boy. Yeah, the Amish kids that I've had work with for me, they were really good workers, but they were really good hell raisers too. Those guys knew how to party. They were really good workers, but they were really good party animals too. Oh, I remember. I did watch the movie Witness. I vaguely remember it. Don't remember a whole lot about it, but it's been a long time since I've seen it. We don't have no cows. We have a bull. It took a while, but I got it started. Hey, Kim. That reminds me, dog. One of my favorite authors, James Herriot. He was a veterinarian, World War II era, before and after. He went through his schooling and training and stuff just pre-World War II, like 5 years before stuff. Anyway, he would go out to the farms and they would have to do a check for, I don't know what he was doing a check for on the farms, but they'd have the cows in the stalls there, and he'd have to get in there and take samples or fill their teats or something like that. And I can't really do, but anyway, this one farmer, he had his cows in the stall that he needed to check for whatever, and he was in a hurry to get on home, so he was jumping through from stall to stall, checking stuff. got down to the last stall. He jumps in there without even thinking, jumps on in there, reaches down, grabs a hold of the bag. And the farmer says to him, there's nothing wrong with his teats. Yeah, he wrote like he had like 4 different books. I mean, each verse of the poem, the Lord God made them all things great, all things wise and wonderful. There was, I think there was 4 books that he wrote. They're all 4 of them are really good reading. Making 15 bean soup, that sounds good. I just started I got a bunch of Chinese cabbage that was given to us, like 4 heads of it. So I just cut that on up, and also had a bunch of radishes that were given to us. I didn't grate them. I sliced them into like mini French fry strips, put them in there, and put some onion and a bunch of hot pepper. I just got that started fermenting. Hey, TJ. And it will be ready. Well, I'm gonna probably start eating on it probably in about a week. I don't know that stuff will, sauerkraut, that type of stuff is very seldom reaches full fermentation for me, because I love munching on that stuff. But that's what I got going today. I'm probably going to make another pot of chili beans this evening. And yes, I said chili beans, not chili. My wife likes the bean soups. I'm not a big bean soup eater. I like my beans to be thick. I mean, I love soup, but bean soup, hey, just give me the beans. Forget all the liquid. Oh, I love vegetable soup. I love vegetable soup. You make yours thick? I'd probably be pretty good then, Kim. Most of the bean soups that I've had other people make, it always seems so thin and runny. It'd be like, literally, when they told me it was 15 bean, 12 or 15 bean soup, yeah, the gal dished me up a bowl. And I figured out the reason why they should call it 15 bean soup was because there was only 15 beans in that bowl and the rest was all liquid. Yeah, I love, we dehydrate a lot of summer squash. The yellow crookneck and zucchini. And when I make a vegetable soup, I love putting that dehydrated squash on in there. It really helps thicken that soup on out. So it's almost like a gravy. It's a thin gravy. Just got back from Texas, huh? How's Junkyard doing this evening? And how was Texas? Yeah, watch out going to, don't open Kim's door for a few days. He's going to need to air it on out. That's when you know your beans are done really good and everybody's afraid to open your door. Yeah, it's drizzled. It hasn't really rained today at all, but it's been drizzling. You hear the little popcorn noises or whatever on the roof. It's been like this pretty much all day here. Just a drizzle, not. I wouldn't call it a rain. You can keep that ice, Junkyard. Well, we haven't had no ice now for about what, 3 days? Somebody left a comment on my video that I put on out about our ice storm. They said that they took 6 trips over the pass over to the coast in a 2-wheel drive vehicle and doing deliveries. Didn't chain up in a 2-wheel drive and all this different stuff. And then he came across a 4-wheel drive pickup. It was all chained up. He says he had to laugh at them. I'm like, well, this guy is so full of shit. I know what that ice was like on out there, and he wasn't driving around making deliveries, going over the pass in just 2-wheel drive vehicles without snow tires. Oh man, love that cornbread with beans, man. That's a cat's meal right there. Kim, chop up some jalapeno peppers and put them in that cornbread. Make it even taste better yet. Plus ice after the 3 inches of snow. Yuck. You can have it. Usually all through February, I like the cold weather that we've been having, but not this year. Yeah, you just jalapeno peppers are not hot, and you can get mild jalapeno peppers. You don't have to get them the hot one. Just put a little bit on in there. And if jalapenos are too hot, there's other peppers that are milder than jalapenos. Just whatever mild pepper you can think of to put in there. mean, bell pepper don't quite do it for me in the cornbread, but we have a oregano pepper, or not oregano, Ortega pepper that has a little bit of heat, but it's hardly noticeable. And that actually tastes pretty good in the cornbread. Yeah, I'm getting older, all right. Had a couple of days of 13 below with wind and fur. Yeah, they're kind of a long bell pepper. I was surprised when they had some heat to them. You know, the ones that we had, they had a little bit of heat. I mean, I'm not going to say that they were hot. They weren't. They definitely weren't hot. They were very mild. But I didn't know that they had any of those peppers with some heat. Hungarian wax peppers. Never tried them. Serranos are good peppers. They have a little bit. They have the Serrano peppers. Don't they have a little bit of heat to them too? Yeah, just warm. They're not hot. Just they're just warm. Kim, I would just put just enough in it to add it to season it like you would like black pepper on your food. You know that amount of heat. Which I mean, black pepper can be hot if you put too much on it. But you know, I mean, make it comfortable. But give it a try one of these times, Kim. Try a really mild warm pepper and chop it up, put in there. I think you'll be surprised with it. If you're hot, you're hot. If you're not, you're not. Well, I tell you what, this next year I got to grow a whole lot more hot peppers than what I had this year. I fermented 2 gallons of hot peppers and got them all fermented and stuff. And those 2 gallons of fermented hot peppers, I have about a pint left. Is all I have, and that's a long time before I can get some more. Don't like it. Okay, it's your taste buds, not mine. Yeah, it says I thought that 2 gallons of fermented peppers that I fermented, I thought they would last me all for about a year, but that was just so good. I wolfed right through them in a period of about what 3 months, 3 4 months. I mean, I wouldn't say that it was super hot, but they were plenty warm. Potato soup tonight. I could go for some potato soup. Potato soup and cornbread would be really good. Maybe that's what I'll have tonight for dinner: potato soup. I've been eating a lot of chili beans. This type of weather, I love chili beans, but I need to break it up. I mean, I was thinking about making another batch of chili beans for tonight, but I don't know. Potato soup would be really good. You know, I buy those red pepper flakes in bulk, and for some reason, I cannot keep those. I'll get a quart of red pepper flake, and I swear those I use it quite a bit in everything. But I mean, I need to start buying that stuff in like by the gallon or something. You know, like that red pepper flake, like you can get at the pizza parlor, you sprinkle on your pizzas. I'd buy that, thinking that a quart of that will last me, but I go through that stuff fast. And again, to give you an idea, I got a bottle of. It's funny. It's on Marco Polo. A friend of mine gave me a bottle of ghost pepper sauce. You could ask Robert and Moose about it. I was drinking straight out of the bottle. When you going to do some more cooking videos there, dog? Instead of all them cat videos. All them cat videos, and all that does is just make me hungry. You know, dog, next time you make a cat video, you ought to put a Chinese chicken recipe in the descriptions. Entitle the descriptions on it by popular demand. It's great soup and meatballs. You know, dog, it would be funny if you did a Chinese chicken video, cooking Chinese chicken. You know, cook up some drumsticks or something, and and label it as Chinese chicken, and have that cat on your shoulder the whole time while you're cooking. I would make a pretty good video, I would think. Little seizures. Hey, Kevin. Yeah, that's one thing I really don't care. The Italian sausage, I don't care for that stuff. I mean, I like Italian seasonings, but Italian sausage just doesn't do it for me. An emergency pizza. Well, what's an emergency pizza? Is that those like a Tony's pizza comes in a cardboard box that you get down to Safeway, three for $1 or something like that? The type of pizza you pull out of the cardboard box, throw the pizza away, and eat the box. Oh, Domino's, that's an emergency pizza. When Domino's first came to their area, down there was over in Chuck City, they were this was back in what the I think it was back in the 70s. They were pretty good back then. Don't know whatever happened to them. Matter of fact, most of the what I remember when Shakey's Pizza to me was that was the cat meow. Anymore, it's junk. I remember as a kid really looking forward to going to Shakey's Pizza on that special. Once a month we'd get to go on out to Shakey's Pizza, and they always had the black and white silent movies playing on the screen there. I think it was Laurel and Hardy, or I don't remember now. Yeah, it was cool though because that was down in Redding, California. They'd play the black and white screens, and they had the center section was where they cooked all the pizza and stuff, and then on the west side was where all the family side, and the east side was where they served alcohol, served the beer. and it was wide open. You could see back and forth through and everything. No, they weren't really separated, but they only served the alcohol on one side and the non-alcohol on the other. And they on both sides they had a fireplace on both sides. They always had a fire going in the during the wintertime. It was fun going to it. I'll bet you it was the Shakey's there, Kevin. They were noted for that back in the day, back in the 60s. Let's see here. Just a second, I gotta open up my YouTube and just 1 second. I gotta sign in on the deal. Uh, Come on. It's called the Pizzeria, privately owned. Oh, okay. Up in Portland, they used to have what was called the organ grinder. Yeah, they're shut down now. That was a really cool piece. They would do, not every night, but they would do a black and white movies from time to time up there. And they'd have people come on in and play the organ. There's a pipe organ, but they had all sorts of instruments like saxophones, trombones, all sorts of stuff, tubas, all sorts of stuff, all behind this big old screen. It was like a orchestra in there, and it was the pipe organ played all those instruments. It was really cool watching. I don't know. Maybe you guys see if you can find something on the organ grinder on YouTube. There might be some videos of it. It was a really cool pizza back in the day, pizza joint to go to back in the day. Chickadee China, the Chinese chicken. You knew a girl they called the organ grinder. That lake is for a nut singing happy birthday. Let's see here. I gotta see it. I gotta see it now. Let's see here. Chickadee China. Oh, that was funny. Yeah, Renda has been missing in action. I hope she's doing okay. Hope Tom's doing okay too. She's probably working her ass off trying to get caught up on bills. Chickadee China, Chinese chicken. Get a drumstick and your brain starts clicking. That's racist. How do you work this caller ID? Star 73. Telling them how to do it. Did that play? Could you guys hear it okay on here? Or was it pretty muffled? You didn't hear it at all? Okay. Hear what? I guess on my other phone you can hear it when I play stuff, but on this one you can't. Oh, you could even hear me talking, huh? Yeah, it might be just as well. No chance of copyright that way. So that's good to know. I've always been kind of leery about clicking on links and watching other videos when I'm on here because of, you know, some people don't like you doing that. Anything with Doug, you always mute. I'll tell you what, I'm pretty proud of myself. When I do fermentation, I'm always struggling um, to keep I don't have the regular fermentation stuff, and to keep everything submerged. I'll tell you what I did today. You get if you buy cupcakes or salad from the store, whatever, you got the thin plastic containers that they've shipped the stuff, put the stuff in. I took the lid of one of those and cut it into a circle just big enough, a little bit bigger than the jar, in a circle, and I cut 4 lines towards the middle where I could kind of fold it up and stick that down in the jar over the top of what I was submerging. And it was big enough to where it wedged everything and pushed everything down. And then I took a cupcake, took one that comes in the cupcakes that come in the plastic container like that. So it was like a cup shaped deal. And I cut that on out and I set that over the top of it. And when I put the lid on there, it helped press everything on down. And that I think is going to work pretty good for submerging my fermentation. Just thought I'd mention that. It wasn't. Nope, it wasn't born. You get to say those called the same family anyway. I think it quit raining. A little bit of drops coming off the trees still, but I'm it's getting towards evening time. Starting to see some light through the clouds on the west, out west. We might have a good night, a cold one. Which reminds me, I probably ought to call this quits for this evening, hang it up, and I need to get some firewood hauled into the house for the evening, for the night. So we'll catch y'all later. Bye, y'all. Thanks for coming.